Hey everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you are having a really good Sunday. I assume I'm having a good Sunday. It's not going to rain this weekend. Obviously, it's Friday evening when I'm recording this, which is my usual way of doing things. Yesterday, which was Saturday, Winter and I both picked up a vehicle. We get one each that we will be reviewing for this channel. I'd love to know your guesses in the comments as to what that vehicle is. There is a bit of a hint. We're both getting our crash helmets out to put said vehicles through their paces. So leave your thoughts in the comments below as to what you think that is. I just gave myself an electric shock on the fence because the fence is now back on. We've moved the chicken, the chicken run has been moved up this way, partly to help the grass recover, because as you can see over there, when we have the chickens in one place for a long period of time, the grass kind of goes, oh my goodness. So by having the chickens over here, we give everything a bit of a break. But also there was a fluffy, fuzzy coyote right over there by the slide a couple of days ago. In fact, it was Thursday. The adults were making all kinds of noise, spearheaded by this lovely chap here. They were all very angry. They were shouting, as chickens do, i.e. making lots of noise. And there was a coyote. As I came round the corner of the chicken coop, the coyote kind of slunk off into the forest. And the youngsters, who keep getting out of their area, in with the adults, were round by the front of the coop. So I don't know if the coyote was going after the youngsters or if it was trying to go after the adults, but I'm trying to encourage these 5 young'uns to stay in with those, and it's not working. I'll put another electric fence up. I think I need to make a larger enclosure so that they stick around and don't kind of run off and don't feel obliged to go and do stupid youngster things, but then they are youngsters. But that's not what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about your charging habits, specifically electric car charging habits. And would you be ticked off, as we would say in the UK, if your government told you that it wanted to be able to control when and how your electric car charges? Now, this is not a hypothetical question, because in the UK, that's exactly what is being discussed right now. The UK government, halfway through next year, or a third of the way through next year, wants to mandate that all new business and home charging stations be smart charging stations that can be externally controlled, i.e. internet connected, meaning if you plug your vehicle in to charge, it wants to be able to turn your charger off if the demand on the grid is too high. Now, as a Brit, I feel a bit frustrated by that. I know, obviously we lived for a good 10 years in the UK while we were owning electric cars. And at no point did we ever have someone come and say, I'm sorry, you can't charge because we're not making enough electricity. I do here in Oregon have charging stations that respond to how green the grid is, and if demand for electricity is higher than the green generation, the charging stations will turn off. And of course, we also have solar panels on the roof of the house now. I have 15 kilowatts peak of solar panels on the roof. And that means that most of the time my car is charged up during the day from solar panels on the roof of my home. I hope that not my next electric car, but the one after that will be solar powered, and it will hopefully get sort of 30, 40 miles a day of range just sitting parked up, which means I won't even have to plug it in for, the majority of daily driving duties. But it feels to me that the UK government is making excuses and spreading some FUD about electric vehicles and about the fear that the electrical grid will just come crashing to its feet even, if everybody starts plugging in an electric vehicle. And it kind of feels a bit like a cop-out. If you watched 10 yesterday, you'll know that I was a little bit sarcastic about that. And what I said there was, it feels like only in the UK could the government spend millions of pounds trying to enact a new requirement that everybody has an internet connected smart charger, when really what it could be doing is investing in the electrical grid, investing in microgrid generation, investing in systems that are designed to help homeowners, to help communities generate their own electricity and then fuel their cars from them. And it feels like it's a bit of a sleazy thing to do, to say, well, yes, we want everyone to go to electric, but then, by the way, we won't let you charge when you need to. Now, most electric car owners, they do charge overnight. Modern electric cars have a decent range per charge. Most people don't drive more than about 30 or 40 miles. So what's that, 50 to 80 kilometres a day? And so they don't need to charge necessarily every night. Or even if their car is plugged in every night, their car only needs to charge for a couple of hours. But that charging overnight is when the grid is making lots of excess electricity and it's not ever being pushed particularly hard. Now, part of this legislation is to try and make sure that during peak powers we don't have brownouts, when the grid demand is too high and the grid can't provide enough electricity. That is one particular thing for a very, very occasional situation. And if it was a voluntary scheme that allowed EV owners to opt in or opt out, as we already have seen in some parts of the world, I'd be totally okay with that. But I'm not entirely sure that most EV owners out there would be happy with this mandatory, we get to control when your car charge kind of set up, because not everybody drives to and from work between 9 and 5 every day. Not everybody has a 9 to 5. Not everybody needs to drive their car at the same time. And while this legislation says, yes, but there'll be a way of overriding, so you can say, no, I really do need to charge now, I think it would still be particularly, it still feels particularly controlling, and I'm not sure that I'm a fan of that. So I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below if you agree with me. Do you think it's okay for the greater good if a government or an energy company gets full control over when customers with electric cars can charge their vehicle? Or do you believe that this is just really an excuse for not investing in our electrical infrastructure? We know that all of the things we rely on today, some of them are powered by electricity, some of them are powered by fossil fuels, whether that be the heating in our home, whether that be the vehicles we drive, whether that be the industry that we rely on to bring goods and services to our homes. And we know that the electrical grid, electrical generation, especially through renewable methods, is essential if we want to continue living the way we've become accustomed to. And I just wonder, are these an excuse? Is this an excuse to, instead of investing, to just blame EVs? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. That is it for today's Sunday Musing. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and do make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you know when we upload our next video. A quick apology, I know that our last Sunday Musing was uploaded late. I am sorry. I was away. I had forgotten to upload it because I was busy preparing for the trip to Lucid. Hopefully I've not done that today. Thanks for the folks on my right for being our $15 to $49 a month Patreon supporters. Special thanks to our $50 a month Patreon supporters. They are David Janakula, Andrew Martin, Guido Drahoa, Brophy Wolf, Tazla in the Gong, Sean Ueda, Gordon C, Regine Fellows, Anonymous Freak, Jim Burness, Carl Hodgson, Anthony Coates, Ricky Leong, Brian Newton, Laura Sanborn, Roy Litwin and Denny Hyde. And our deepest gratitude to our $100 a month Patreon supporters. They are John Lyons, Marcel Ward, Reggie Watts, JP Fagerback, Will Graylin, Matthew Drobnick, Christopher Jones, Paul Conway, Ellery Hennesley and Ian. If you would like to join our wonderful ranks of Patreon supporters, you'll find links below to Patreon, and there's also links to Bitcoin and Ko-fi if you prefer even to support us that way. And don't forget, you can also buy a t-shirt or other Transport Evolved swag by heading to our Transport Evolved store. It's getting cold. The young chickens are way down there, exactly where we saw the coyote the other day, which seems like a perilously stupid and very stereotypical young person thing to do. So I'm going to go and fetch the chickens and put them to bed. I will be back next week with more great content, but until then, thanks for joining me and keep evolving.